Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is a special event tonight for 4K Club and anybody that wants to come along as a guest. I believe we are international tonight, and I can see the viewers coming on board, so welcome. We were going to talk about how to connect with people a bit more tonight, but the opportunity came up to get Sarah Olney, who has run a very successful PR and marketing business for a long time, to come on and tell us a bit more about using LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I think, is vastly underused by a lot of people, even in traditional business, even though it is kind of the business, networking platform. So we thought it would be useful to get Sarah on and go through LinkedIn with us. So if you're happy to make a start, Sarah, if you want to just let everybody know who you are and get straight into it, I guess.
Yeah,
I'll
thanks
mute
very much,
myself out
Paul.
so I don't interrupt you.
Yeah, it's really great to be here tonight, and I'm just going to spend a little bit of time going through the basics of LinkedIn and what makes it so important. So I'll take you straight into my account, and we'll use that. Just a few facts about LinkedIn. It's about 300 million users worldwide. In the UK, there's nearly 15 million, I think it's 14.8, and there are 2.2 million groups. So it's quite a rich source for prospecting, and you can target specific individuals. So different from Facebook. Facebook tends to be quite sociable, very instant. LinkedIn is used a lot by recruiters. It's got the CVs, the experience, the summary, and it's a bit of a slower burn. It is a different look and feel than Facebook, but a rich source of prospecting. Okay, so let's head on over to my LinkedIn account. Can everybody see that? Is that okay, Paul? Can you still hear me? Yeah.
Hi, Sarah. Sorry, I had to unmute myself. No, you need to click the screen share button again. It's not come through.
Sorry. Just
you can still see you,
full
which is
screen.
fine. But...
Yeah. Is that? Can you see the screen now?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this is my LinkedIn account on the homepage. I go into LinkedIn every day without fail. I'm always very nosy. If you look down here, who's viewed your profile? So we'll go on to that in a minute. And I always look up here. So I've been out quite a lot today. So I've got 41 messages sat in my LinkedIn inbox. Now, if you're going to make the most of LinkedIn, the first thing you have to think about is what appears in this search box at the top. The way LinkedIn works is that it will return searches according to what you put in that box, in line with what people have put in their profile. So when you're creating your profile, think about the keywords that you want to be found for. That could be a word like PR, marketing consultant, internet coach, network marketing, network marketeer. You decide on the keywords. And what's so interesting, if I type in digital marketing, click the box on the left, you can search by all, by people. So let's just have a look at people, click the search button. So when you're creating your profile is the single most important thing. Have a look at what other people have written for the keywords that you want to be found for, and then make sure that you embed those in your profile, because that's how you'll show up in the results. So you can see that globally there's 72,000 results returned for digital marketeer, and then you can refine it further. So if you wanted to find who in the United States on LinkedIn, 34,000 people. And then from there you could target those people specifically by tagging them, and I'll show you what to do with the tagging. So let's just go back to the home search, and let's have a look down here. So you'll see here, much like Facebook, this is like a timeline. It's all your connections. When you post what you're up to, it will come up. It will come up here, share an update. It will tell you who's got new connections. Sometimes I'll just go through 15 engaging LinkedIn group posts on financial services marketing. I'll just like that, just with one of my connections, just showing showing some interest. And this sort of bit similar to Facebook. I started this discussion in marketing communication. That's a post Paul and I were working on yesterday. I'll show you that as an example. Now that's gone out to my 4,500 followers on LinkedIn, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. So that's what you'll see immediately on your home page. The most important thing that you'll want to look for is, and to make sure you filled in, is your profile if you're going to work on LinkedIn. This is the very key thing at the top, so make sure you're using your keywords that you want to be found for. So if any of you have got other businesses, like you've got a franchise or you're a reseller, parties, candles, I know some of you do, fragrances, health products, you know, you might want to put some of those keywords in here. And then I'll show you how you can prospect amongst the target audiences of people that you would want to buy your products. Oh, that's nice. Someone has just endorsed me for new skills, web marketing, so I'll add that to my profile. And here, I'm going to show you the posts in a minute. Here you can see my background summary. Again, I'm using the keywords that I want to be found for on LinkedIn. And if I show you in the edit profile, you can check how well you're doing. So if I go into edit the summary, which is the single most important thing, then LinkedIn will give you some useful tips. Optimize your profile to get found. Do these terms fit your skill and achievements? If so, add them to your summary to show up in more searches. Digital marketing channels, utilizing multi-channel, leading digital. I've got all the ones I want. I wouldn't want to add any of those. But what's good is you can health check how you're getting on with writing your summary. So here it says, nice work, you're using 5 powerful keywords, see which ones, and it will highlight there that you know, I've got words digital, cross-channel, marketing communications agency, digital and cross-channel. So I'm quite pleased with that. I do go in fairly regularly and update summary. I think about new keywords that I might want to add in, like mobile apps developers, something Paul and I are working on, so I added that in a few months ago. Here, what's good is you add in pictures, screen grabs, any bits of referenceability, and you add a title in to show people your portfolio of work. So a mobile app example that Paul developed for me the other day, I added that as a screen grab on here with a title. Skills and endorsements, again, like the keywords, you decide. Now what's happening here, like my friend Jennifer at the top endorsed me for web marketing, is people on LinkedIn are shown when they come on a series of 4 people, and it's a rotating carousel of people, and you can click on whether you want to endorse them. So if someone sees my picture for digital marketing, they'll click on it to endorse me, and then it adds to the numbers, and the maximum you can get is 99 plus. It gets quite addictive actually, so I've got 99 plus for these 4 at the top, and now hopefully the others will start rising as well. One of my friends I was talking to the other day, that Paul knows as well, he's got 99 plus for every single one, and he said he just worked solidly on it for 18 months, which I thought was pretty impressive. Put in your experience down here. It's a bit like a CV. Again, you'll return in the searches here, and I phoned someone the other day, a journalist actually, on behalf of a client, and as soon as I spoke to that journalist about that client, she said, hang on a minute, let me look him up on LinkedIn, and she did it live while we were on the phone. So what amazes me is people are using LinkedIn to reference how authentic a person is, what their experience and skills are. It's an instant CV online, in effect. Recommendations here from other people, and then, you know, it's just the rest of your CV really. Courses you've been on, any projects that you've worked on. So, you know, it's a bit of a journey. It's a bit like Facebook. You know, add to it as you go. Honours and awards and certifications. Volunteer experience and causes, you know, that's another really good way of connecting. Common interest in animals, the environment, charity, breast cancer, marathon running, raising funds. You can connect with people on LinkedIn by that. Now, another good thing to put on the summary, if I just click the I'm going to show you the edit the contact info. Now here you can see I've got a unique URL. Most things online I'm known as SoDirect, so you can personalize your URL to your company name if you've got one for your business, and then edit the contact info. It's a useful little tip here. Wait a minute, I have to come up somewhere else. Let me just go back into the profile. I just wanted to show you how to edit your website so that you can put a personal name on them. Let's see if that's it. So here, obviously, you've got your email, your Skype details. Now, under websites, you can see I've got digital marketing, get money working for you, and LinkedIn company page. So if I just look at digital marketing, that's going to clicks to your website. But if you edit it, always click the other rather than personal, company, blog, or anything else. If you click other, it allows you to put a personal name in here, which in effect gives you a personalized URL for your website, and I think that's a neat feature. So that's good to show you that. So get your profile done, think about the keywords you want to be found for. That's how people will be finding you. We're going to come on and have a little look at connections. Make sure you fill in your CV, upload some things on your portfolio, and make sure your contact info is how you want it. And you know, it's not War and Peace. You're not trying to write a novel here. Just get going with it in a few sentences and make it look fairly competent. Have a look at what other people in your similar field do in terms of summarising your profile, and you know that's sufficient. And always make sure you've got the picture in, of course. That's like Facebook. People like to see the pictures. Let's have a look up here and see what's happened in my inbox today, because obviously this is the interaction. So just messages from people. Yeah.
So just a quick one. I don't want to interrupt your flow or anything, but it's probably a good point to mention it while you're on it. Is there a way to fill your profile in or anything to get found more, or is it just a case of filling in as much as you can and being active?
Being active and consistent on LinkedIn is very important. So I always say do 5 minutes in the morning, 5 in the afternoon, rather than you haven't done anything for weeks and then you do a big burst. LinkedIn, like Facebook, likes to see the activity. Filling in your summary and profile is important because it's those keywords. So if you're in network marketing or healthy living or Arbonne, you know, you're a franchise, you're a reseller, you know, MLM, whatever words you want to be found for, you need to have that in your profile summary, because people, or say you were into, I was discussing Joy for Life, healthy products with one person that I think is probably on this hangout tonight. So I typed that into LinkedIn. I didn't get a lot of search results, but then I thought, well, the way I would prospect on LinkedIn if I was reselling that product would be to look for physiotherapists, sports therapists, you know, and people, and I might put that in my profile, because then I'd return as, you know, these sort of healthy search terms, that, and then I could engage with a connection and get them interested in you know, the nutrients that I was able to offer.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I just wondered, it was an opportunity to ask. I won't interrupt again.
Right. That's okay. So these are all the invitations that I've got that have come in today while I've been out. I'm not going to go through and accept them now, but just to, I mean, this is purely random. It's what's come in today. A network information security engineer, an account manager at Cogno, that sounds like IT, general surgery resident at Greenville Health System, that sounds interesting. If I was selling health products, that's the kind of guy I'd like to connect with. Vice President of Operations, commercial printer. You know, so it's a good mix of people. A recruiter at United Airlines, that's a nice one. Now, I do also belong to something called Top LinkedIn, and I pay more for that per month. You don't have to pay on LinkedIn. I know a lot of people that do very well on LinkedIn without the premium service. I happen to pay for it because I've just been into LinkedIn for quite a long time. I also pay for something called, to become part of Lion, LinkedIn Open Networker, and that, like Facebook with the friendship ladders, guarantees me a stream of people who will connect with me. And there's just one rule if you do join toplinkedin.com, it's called, that you don't refuse requests from people, because obviously, like Facebook, you can get blocked. So I will go through and accept all these, and I will try and send each of them a message to say thanks for connecting. But obviously, I'm most interested in you know, the work that I'm doing, and I'll prioritise the people that jump out at me, like you would with any of them. So that's what I want to show you now. That's how to find the new connections. Now, if I look at my current connections, you'll see, just keep an eye on the time here, say congratulations. This is quite a quick, neat way of just say congrats, exclamation mark. You know, it just takes me a minute. So, you know, it'll bring up latest updates and for birthdays as well. If I look at one of my contacts, Stephen Roberts, I think Paul knows him. Now, the useful thing when you build your connections is you'll see this thing called tag, and you can see I've tagged him as Wi-Fi and broadband. So I can go through all my connections and I can segment them. So if I want to just send an email and an invite or a message to a particular section of contacts, then I would use it by filling in the tags on the connections, and I think that's a really good way of prospecting. Then what you would do is send them a message. So I don't want to join, say Simon has given me a recommendation. I would just reply, say many thanks. From networking for years, so he's quite a useful contact to me. So that's the connections. Going back to the home page, this is a fairly new feature on LinkedIn, this pencil to create a post. Now, they rolled this out in February, and they rolled it out to about 25,000 people, and I think most people have it now. So more than just sharing an update on this timeline, if I create a post, write my thoughts and publish it, I can tweet it as well to all my followers, which is a very easy way of reaching out more. And yesterday Paul and I did this joint one together, and that's gone out to my 4,500 connections. It's had 1 tweet, 2 G+, and 3 LinkedIn shares, and a like on Facebook, and it's had 2 likes and it's had 54 views. And I mean, you know, that took me 10 minutes to create yesterday. That's a bit of a sales promotion one. Why most marketeers fail. There was one I did the other day where I actually had someone contact me for some advice, and he was an insurance executive in the States, a Harvard graduate, and he gave me a recommendation. I gave him about 10 minutes worth of free advice, so that was quite useful. So let me see if I can look at, well, let's have a look at this one, how to use LinkedIn for business. So this is how I would use LinkedIn to join it up with Facebook. I would create an event on Facebook, which doesn't have to be a hangout. It can be something that you're publishing or something you want to get out to your connections on Facebook. I can also give you the software that if you've got a lot of friends on Facebook, you can type in a code that you put in your URL box at the top, and it will automatically tick all your friends and send all the invitations out. So I would do that on Facebook. Then I would promote it into some groups, and then I'd come over to LinkedIn. I would write a little article like this, live training, next training, blah, blah, blah. That went out to 4,600 followers, and that's had 151 views, and we only did that on the 23rd of June. 11 likes on Facebook, 5 shares on LinkedIn, I mean, you know, and what did that take me? That took me 10 minutes to do. So you know, and okay, I pay for LinkedIn, but you don't have to pay for LinkedIn, and that's had 151 views. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to try and do more of these per day, or per week rather, not per day. I wouldn't do more than one or two, you know, a week anyway, usually. So that's connections. I've shown you how to tag your connections. Another important thing on your home page, if you remember, sorry, on your profile page, if you remember, we had a look at my, where's my contact info? Contact info. I want to show you how to create a LinkedIn company page. However small business, even if you're a freelancer, think up a name or whatever you're known for, or even if it's your own name, create a company page, because people do, it gives you more returns in the searches in LinkedIn, I think. So if I go down to SoDirect Business and Product Development, you can see that I've got it linked. So if people hover over it, I can show you how to link that outside of this. You have to click on it and type change company, and then you can link it to your company page, and then there's your website. So, you know, that's a really neat, extra powerful thing that comes up in the searches. So the web create a company page is important for you to do. Go to your interests, go to companies, and I'm going to show you something else that's another new feature on LinkedIn that I think is really powerful. I've got various different pages here. So manage your pages. I've got business growth consultant. I don't want to show you that one. Just going to try and find one of the other ones. Okay. Interest companies. I thought I had others on here. It's gone a bit peculiar. There's a feature under companies on the drop down on the edit, which is the showcase page, and it's like creating your own unique URL. So if I have digital marketing consultant, which I couldn't get because someone else had grabbed it, then and I've got digital marketing consultancy, then you've created a unique page to you on LinkedIn that no one else can get. Now that's a new feature, so I strongly recommend, if you are on LinkedIn, that you go in and do that. I'm just a bit puzzled why my other pages. So I've got 2 accounts on LinkedIn, and I hope I haven't confused it the other day. Company page, manage. Let's go that way. Oh, that's one I'm doing for a client. I don't want to see that one. Clarity showcase pages. Might not be able to show you that then, because I've got edit page. Well, I can show you. For this happens to be a client page that I'm managing. But if I go to edit page for that client, because they do e-procurement, create a showcase page. So what we've done is create, if you look down here, we've created e-procurement and spend management, because these are now unique. No other competitor can grab those page names, and we know that those searches are important terms for them when people are searching for e-procurement suppliers. So that's the power of having a showcase page. So I wanted to show you that. Those are the most important things that I wanted to show you. How to post, how to build connections. Oh, yes, so here, let's say I'm in network marketing, which I am, obviously, and I'm thinking, because one question I had before this training was, you get a lot of spam in the InMail, which is the inboxing facility on LinkedIn. Very true, and I'm like everybody else. I just delete most of it if I don't really know the person and I see they've sent me a link. If if the boot's on the other foot and I want to in-mail out to my 4,500 connections to alert them to something I'm doing as a new product launch or something I think they'll be interested in, then I wouldn't do it that way. What I tend to do, you can export your connections into a CSV file. There's a simple little button on LinkedIn. It's under your privacy and settings, and you can then, I think it's under there. I'm not going to go into it now in case I can't remember where it is. And it says export connections, and it literally does it for you. And then you upload that spreadsheet into your own email account and email them out of your own private email. That's the way I get through to people. So it does. I think email on LinkedIn can be a bit spammy, and I agree with that. But if I was searching for, I have got another account on LinkedIn. I don't want to go into it now, but I've created one purely with a different profile. Like Facebook, you don't want to get banned, and it only likes you to have one account. So use a different email and a different phone number and a slightly different name. I use my maiden name, Sally Ross, for my other account, and that's because you can join up to 50 groups per profile. So on my other account, I just join the MLM groups and chat to people in there. So the groups are really important. There are 2.2 million of them. Like Facebook, it's got groups. And if you're trying to connect with someone, so let's say who was that guy that I like the look of here? Who was? Let me just look at the recruitment guy. Invitations. He was the recruiter at United Airlines, William L. Eddins. So I think, oh, that's a useful contact for me. He might be interested in discount vouchers and promotions for customer services, so I will accept that invitation. But let's have a look. Oh, if I accept it now. And then I'm going to type him in here. Send him a thank you message, which normally I would do. I can do that later. Let me go back to my connections. Just find them again there. Well, usually it'll come up with I'm connected. What I was going to do, what groups? Oh, here we are. Recruiter at United Airlines is now a first degree connection, because I've got 4,600 connections on LinkedIn, and in total that will now link me to about 20 million people, and I can show you how that is segmented. But if I look at his profile, what I'm interested in is if he belongs to any groups. Looks like he's fairly new, because I can't see. You can go in and chat to similar people. So if I typed in, one that I did the other day was restaurant, and it didn't return a lot of results. 34,000 for results USA. So Andrew Robinson, he might be a good contact for me. TGI Fridays, you see, that's great. Dallas Fort Worth. Then I would look at what groups he's in. Yeah.
So I was just going to say, just so you know, when you type, Sarah, Google's Sarah, when you type on your keyboard, Google's muting you out because it thinks you're typing, and obviously we can hear the keys very loudly. Just so you know. So when you're talking, saying I'm going to look for this, and you're typing, you need to sort of say after.
Yeah.
Okay, just to let you know.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah, when you type, we can't hear what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, well, normally what I would do is go in and look. No, okay, I'll try not to type then. Normally what I would do is go into groups. If I show you what groups I belong to, Here are some of them. There's Top LinkedIn. Quite a lot of, there's the Art of Network Marketing. And you can see how many members are in there. I haven't been into this one for ages, to be honest, because I'm trying to use the other account. And the groups, I don't want to belong to a lot of my own digital marketing. I want to find people who can become customers or partners. Dr. David Friedman, Affiliate Marketing Program, offers income without starter packs. Well, I agree. You know, some people say, look, you know, it's very pushy, and you're right. I don't really want to be marketed in that way. It's quite spammy, isn't it? But I will pick off individuals and I will connect with them, and then I will see if I can build a relationship by commenting and liking their posts in the groups that they belong to. So I think, you know, I think that's the important thing about how to use LinkedIn. Another feature that you'll like is who's viewed your profile. If you go back to your home page, out of my 4,500 connections, it shows how you rank for your profile views. So I'm in the top 10% for profile views among the connections, so that I'm pleased about that, and that's purely because of activity on Facebook. And then I do this most days. I'll look at who has viewed my profile. Here, Rhonda, I think she's on tonight. And what I do is, there's Tim Cooper, I know him, natural health consultant. So I'll write to him and say, oh, I see you're in natural health, what kind of things are you offering, you know, how's it going for you? Much like you'd engage in the chat on Facebook. And I do say to people, I see you viewed my profile. So I find this very useful, and it shows how popular you are in the rankings as well. And we're just coming up to just after 9 o'clock, so I'll probably throw it back to Paul for questions in a minute. But here, I like this facility. Who's viewed your updates? The LinkedIn Inspiration Index had 16 views. And then you can see here, my network connects me to 20 million people. It's suggesting groups I might like. Well, I don't really want to belong to any more of my own kind. Social media marketing, I'm more interested in LinkedIn for prospecting. Companies I may like. Again, it's throwing up PR companies. And you can use LinkedIn. If I show you on the type of accounts that you can have, just as the last thing. So I've shown you how to set your profile up, the importance of the summary with the keywords, look at other people's to see what they're being found for, similar types of people, start to join groups. So if you wanted to join, I don't know, let's look for, I can't spell it, physiotherapist. Oh, I've picked one I can't spell. Therapists. Let's look at groups. Just looking at groups. And then, much like Facebook, you can also spend money. You could set a low budget, $5 or $10 a day. You can actually specifically target. I could go here, you know, and actually refine this. So I was just targeting physiotherapists in the New York area or London, and just promote an advert out to those people. So again, I like LinkedIn for that ability to slice and dice and drill down into who you really want to prospect once you start getting to that level where you've got some marketing budget to invest. So I'll just finish off by showing you the different types of accounts. Sorry about the dog. Oh. I thought it might show us the different levels. Get more when you upgrade. I don't want to upgrade. Oh, compare account types, just so you can see. As I say, I've got friends on LinkedIn who spend nothing. They do the free account. Who's viewed your profile is limited. but you can still see people that viewed your profile. Full profiles up to 2nd degree, these are like radiants of circles, it's like 6 degrees of separation, who's connected to you. Full name visibility, I get that, which I do like because I use it for prospecting. In-mail messages, I do use that to reach out to people. I just don't spam, you know, I don't use it for multiple mailings, and I've got 25 of those a month. Introductions, you've still got 5. You can ask people to introduce you. So you've still got 5 of those at the free level. 100 search profiles per search. So you know, you've got quite a lot on the free basis, and I think, you know, I think LinkedIn, with the 300 million people worldwide, and that ability to slice and dice the profile and the summary and look for types of people, types of industry, you know, I find that really powerful. But like Facebook, it is all about activity and engaging and chatting in the groups, and you know, digging around. You've got to spend a little bit of time with it, and thinking about what you want to post, what you want to be known for. But the art of networking is about that conversation, isn't it? It's not about the spamming and the selling at people. And the same principle applies on LinkedIn as it does on Facebook. And then every day you should see connections coming in, and also invites to connect. I pay for these extra invites, but you will start to get that at the free basis, because once you filled in who you were at school at, where you play basketball or football, charity that you belong to, fill in those things and the connections start to come in. And I think that's it from me, Paul.
Okay, that's very good, Sarah. Thank you very much. That was really cool. I'm going to unmute Mark as well. We've got Mark Simmons on. Mark, are you unmuted, Mark?
I've just done it, yeah.
Oh, cool. Have you got any questions, Mark?
Yeah, I've got one. We understand Facebook a lot in terms of, I suppose, speaking to people, engaging with people. It's almost called the common man, so to speak. And LinkedIn's always been that sort of area that people will use purely for business, professional business, that type of thing. So do you find that LinkedIn is changing in terms of the way people are approaching it, and perhaps being more amenable to an approach for a product like network marketing?
I don't know. I mean, it's early days for me using it for network marketing. I just think it's too powerful to ignore. But as I say, I've set up a separate profile purely for network marketing to join 50 MLM groups or Herbalife or Arbonne or whatever it might be. I think you've got to tread carefully, and you've got to, you know, engage with people, not just say, oh, I'm doing this and do you want to buy it? I mean, clearly, you know, it's the same sort of thing. If you've got a, you know, I mean, it's sort of, I can go in and I can talk about how you're finding social media. Do you use LinkedIn for advertising? You know, you've got to find ways to chat to people that will interest them and be of interest to them without selling at them, haven't you? It's the same as Facebook. It is a different audience. I just think it's too powerful. Number one, it's too powerful to ignore. Number two, I love how quickly I got those views, just a simple post. You know, being able to share to Twitter so easily. I love being able to tag people. I love the personalised URL on the showcase pages. I think they're worth grabbing anyway. I haven't filled half of mine in. You can have up to 10, but at least I've grabbed that. As that takes off, you know, those pages have gone now. No one else can have that personalised URL. So I think that's a really good new feature. You know, I can't remember the figure for the number of searches per day, but if you're engaging, I mean, last year I had over 10, not a word of a lie, over £10,000 worth of business out of LinkedIn from an article I wrote about cross-channel marketing and the importance of joined-up marketing. So, does it work for network marketing as well as Facebook? To be honest, I don't know, but all I know is that I can see who belongs to Arbonne, who's already receptive to network marketing, who's already working in utilities warehouse, who's already joined, you know, XYZ product. I can find out that information, and that to me gives me a prospect database of people who are amenable to discussing other networking marketing opportunities. That's my logic anyway.
One of the things I found, well, there were two things that I found really helped me. One was actually being far more specific in my profile about my past experience. So I came up, as you say, with keywords and things far more regularly in people's searches, and have a stream of people now approaching me about maybe how I can help their organisation or them going forwards. But the other thing, which I guess they've changed slightly, there used to be a sort of status against my profile. Like I say, now I'm working on this. I guess it's a post now. and I found that really useful because, for example, I did some work helping an organisation get some funding, some capital expenditure. And that I ended up being approached by someone in Germany, from a German company who was English, they were setting up a factory in Scotland, who was interested in just talking initially about what might be available for them. And it just shows where things start to reach out. I guess, like you say, it's about having that. It's a slightly different level. It's a professional, business level type conversation you need to have, I guess, which is the difference, isn't it?
It is, and it's not as, don't get me wrong, Facebook is my #1 addiction because it's instant, it's friendly, you have a laugh, the engagement is so powerful, I absolutely love it. I just like the analytical approach of LinkedIn, but I think it's a slow burn. That's just a personal view, and I think working at it, like everybody, I need to do more on it as well. But just 5 or 10 minutes a day. I do go in every day, but I don't always post. I'm trying to do more, and I do like that facility of posting out to the followers. That seems to be working, and joining that up with Facebook, because it's like throwing the pebble in the water, isn't it? It's amplifying your reach. Because it's joined up with liking on Facebook, G+ing it out on Twitter. I have found that has increased our audience on here by Paul and I and you working the different things together. I don't quite know how, but it seems to have that effect.
And the other thing that's happened for me, I guess I don't remember having any direct revenue as a consequence of LinkedIn, but what it's done is it's supported, it's created credibility for me, which has sort of confirmed the conversations I've already been having, or you speak to someone else and they look you up and look at your profile. So again, it comes down to the importance of your profile in terms of backing up your experience, knowledge, going back, and people being comfortable, I guess, with you being able to fulfill their needs, their business needs going forward.
Yes, I think if you're in network marketing and you are specifically targeting the individual to build your team, then quite rightly you'll stick to Facebook. I think if you have a product where someone you are targeting, because we all want the higher value team leaders who can duplicate and bring people in, then let's go back to physiotherapy. If you've got a health product, you will find those professionals who've got letters after their name on LinkedIn. So you can talk about healthy interests or sports that you do or charity fun runs. You don't have to talk about your product, do you? But you can find those people through that search box on LinkedIn, and I think that's a really powerful facility. And then do a post, a general post about pharmaceutical industry. I read one the other day. Pharmaceutical industry is, it's not about health, it's about money. You can make a good post out of that, couldn't you? And talk about how do you stay healthy so you avoid going to take pills. That will open up. I did a post the other day, and boom, that insurance executive said, I'm a franchise, I'm offering this. How do I increase my sales? And I didn't know when I helped him. He was a Harvard business graduate with about 20 years experience. But I did give him 10 or 15 minutes and sent him a note saying, try this, try that, and try the other. And he said, wow, that's fantastic. I'm actually going to do some of that. And I said, well, if it was useful, do you mind giving me a recommendation? He said, sure. So I got, that to me was fine. So he said it just happened to be the right post at the right time. So I suppose it can be a bit hit and miss. But I was helping someone today. They wanted to appoint a new trustee, and they're used to traditional advertising, and I said, well, why don't you set a budget and go on LinkedIn? And he said, well, I don't really use LinkedIn. And I said, well, I'll show you. So I said, if you type investment manager in, and that was too broad, and then we typed in investment manager trustee in the UK, and up came 1,600 people specifically with the criteria he was looking for. So he said, oh, you mean I can send just them an advert? I said, yes. Yeah.
Sarah, you listed 1,600 people. Something I remember when I don't use LinkedIn now, and I should, and this is partly why we wanted this tonight. Is one of the things that used to frustrate me is I'd find somebody that I'd want to connect with, and I found I didn't get hardly, not many replies from messages. And if you tried to connect with somebody, it was like, how do you know them? And if you didn't know them, you couldn't pursue it. So Facebook is great for that, because it's like, hi Mark, I see we're in the same group, or I see you like this, I see you like that. It's very, very easy. Has LinkedIn changed now so I can do the same? Or is it a case of having to join a group that they're in to get that connection?
Yes, it hasn't changed. I always tick the box on the drop down, which is just called getting back in touch. I usually tick that one. I've got the paid version, so I can do 25 emails a month. So I'll send an email saying I'd like to connect with you, and this is why. And mostly I will get a response, but I agree with you. Sometimes people just ignore me. So yes, you still have to know their email address if you're going to send them the invite directly. Otherwise, you're reliant on the email and for them to want to come back and connect with you.
So a great tip then, I'm guessing, would be to try and find them on Facebook as well, because most people have both accounts, don't they?
Well,
try and find them on
yes
Facebook.
And no. I mean, I'm not sure how many do have Facebook accounts, because if you're on LinkedIn, it's never the twain shall meet. They don't tend to be on Facebook so much. There is a personal preference, I find, but maybe that's just my view. Would I find that guy from United Airlines on Facebook? I say probably not. So I think LinkedIn is if you think you've got a business audience for your product, as well as building your personal network team, if we're talking about network marketing. But LinkedIn is very good to promote your business generally, if you've got a main business that you're running. Should be.
So if I was targeting restaurants, for example, for mobile apps or for Explosion, for the vouchers, for them to grow their business, it's easy to find people that own restaurants. It's not as easy to contact an individual directly. So are you saying LinkedIn is great, really, for going in, like, say, 5-10 minutes a day, keep putting stuff out?
Yeah, because I typed in restaurants USA this week, and I didn't find the same example again tonight, but I did send him an email, and I found a guy who was marketing director of four restaurant chains. So okay, he might be too busy, or he might think I don't want to connect with her, but hopefully I've built up enough leverage on LinkedIn that he probably will, if I've tailored my message correctly. And it wasn't, oh, I'm a digital marketing consultant, talk to me. I can't remember what I said now. It was along the lines of how you find in the economy. I've worked in retail quite a lot. Be great to connect with you to share sort of what's working, what's not when it comes to marketing out to the consumer market. Something like that. Fairly oblique.
It's kind of what Darren Little, who's kind of our mentor, who teaches us part of connection. Last Wednesday we did a hangout, and I put a link below this video if you're on the 4kclub.info/LinkedIn training, or ask the person who sent you this link. But I'll put a link to that training. Darren is like the master connector, if you like, at teaching you how to connect with people online. So I'll put a link to that under this, because that would be really useful. Because to me, I mean, Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, these things are all about getting in front of somebody, and then you've still got to you've got to network with them, whether it's business, whether it's a home-based business, whether it's a big business. It's all about networking at the end of the day, and that's a really good webinar that Darren did for us. If you would feel free to watch that. Okay, Mark, have you got anything else you'd like to add?
There's loads, but I'm conscious of time, so it might be best for another day, I think.
Yeah, I'll put my email at the bottom if anyone's got any questions, or you'll find me on Facebook. So please do message me if you want me to help you set anything up, or you're struggling with LinkedIn. More than happy to help.
That's fantastic, Sarah. Well, I think this is the first week we've managed to keep the time down, like we said, because the idea of these is that they're all going to be like half an hour. So we're still over half an hour. But no, thanks, Sarah. That was fantastic.
Very
really
welcome.
Going to make me use LinkedIn.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, no problem.
And everybody watching, great. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you next week. We'll do another hangout next week, 8:30 UK time, Tuesday, which I think is 3:30 PST. Is it, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm terrible with time zones. So we'll look forward to seeing you then.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye for now.